What is up, people? I just woke up and I am going to react to How to Recognize an Enlightened Beings by Swami Sarvapriyananda. So let's watch it together.
One criterion is, of course, ethical behavior. An enlightened one is not bound by ethical behavior, but generally an enlightened person would not be unethical. So if you see unethical behavior, immoral behavior, whatever that person is probably not very spiritual, let alone
So
being
usually
enlightened.
enlightened beings are
A good sign
angry.
Sri Ramakrishna has given, Jake dekle Ishwarer Uddipan hai. You feel upraised, you feel purified, you feel sublime in the company of such people. And this many of us have noted. Very few highly spiritual people I have met in my life, I've seen absolutely, always it is the case, that people around them, they feel it. How do they feel? They feel purified. Negativities diminish. You feel peace. You feel acceptance. You feel joy. A kind of very pure, luminous joy you feel.
I want to be
Higher
around
life
such
becomes
people.
real. Worldly life sort of fades to the background. A holy place like a pilgrimage can do that to you, and a holy person can do that to you, an enlightened person. More powerful they are, the
So
more
it's like
deep
they
that
hold
effect
that
is.
energy.
I have seen a number of cases. For example, I've seen Swami Bhuteshanandaji, 12th president of our order, coming to an ashram. I saw the before and after. It's an ashram, a holy place. Yet it seems suddenly everything is lit up. Not physically, somewhere, somehow. Everybody is in a state of joy because of his presence. And every day, everybody wants to finish their daily task and routine, just go
How
to sit
does
in his
energy
presence.
work?
After all, he's a
Why can't
95,
we
96
see it
year old
with
man.
physical eyes?
What are you getting from this little old man? But you sit there, everybody's rushing like they're all attracted, like honeybees to the flower. That unexplained attraction. I mean, again and again I have seen crowds of people just gathering to look at him. So what is it, that attraction? That shows some kind of, that shows enlightenment. And you can see it more extraordinarily, of course, in the case of avatars. We read of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri, in Jagannath Kshetra, in Puri. What extraordinary depictions, and they're so vivid. They must be depictions by people who were there. Kirtan, singing and dancing is going on at night, and the whole crowd around, they're playing the drums and cymbals, and Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, they're singing. In between them is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in ecstasy. He's not aware of the external world, and only half aware, and therefore, and he's singing to the song and dancing. And the beautiful description of people holding up these firebrands, this mashal, and lamps. They're holding it up so that they can get a glimpse of his face. And this huge crowd is
I've never
entranced.
met an enlightened
See, we
being
can't see God,
in real
but
life.
here is one who is literally seeing God right at
India.
this moment, and it's expressed in his face. That's what stuns all of us. Sri Ramakrishna, he went back to the village, and he says, Mahamaya bhelki lagi di. It's a magic show of the Divine Mother. He had no rest for days on end. Wherever he goes, crowds of people gather around to look at him. And he says in Bengali, takuti takuti. That means the play of the drums. Everywhere you go, groups of musicians arrive, and they want to sing and dance with him, take the name of God. And he can't sleep at night. People pressing all around. Similar example is there of Swami Premananda, Baburam Maharaj, who was the manager of Belur Mutt, a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He was an extraordinary spiritual. When he passed, Holy Mother Ma Sharda, she burst into tears and said, my Baburam was a light on the bank of the Ganga. He was light up the grounds of Belur Mutt, because she lived on the other bank, and she felt his presence as a light shining on the other side of the river. And he has gone out. That light has gone out now. But there's a description of Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Swami Premananda is in charge of all the festivities. Crowds of people coming, musicians, they rush towards him and surround him, and they sing, and he just stands in silence or in ecstasy, but they're seeing him. There's this particular thing, a small description which I found unforgettable. In the afternoon, with all this pressure, in the afternoon he wants to take a break, the famous Indian afternoon siesta. So he goes to this place which is called the visitor's room. It's still there in Belur now. It has got many windows all around. So he goes and he wants to take a nap there. And all the windows are thick with people who are looking down at him, just to see his face while he's sleeping. Yeah. What is that attraction?
I'm so curious.
It's the attraction of God. And it's
spend
something that
time
we are
around
feeling all the
enlightened
time.
beings.
Whatever we do in life, Swami Vivekananda says in Bhakti Yoga, whatever we do in life, do you not see that one force behind all the good in this life? The love of the mother for the child, the love of the greedy man for his money, the love of the politician, the ambition for success and power in the world, the tremendous urge for scientific discovery among a researcher, the tendency of the writer, the artist for artistic expression, pouring themselves out. Swami Vivekananda says it's one force, and it's at its higher end. It is the saint, searching for God, but it's the one force everywhere, playing in all human beings, in all civilizations, in all life itself. That is general, but when it becomes very specific, when that which all of this is searching for God, when that God becomes even indirectly manifest to us in the face of somebody who is seeing God, imagine the attraction we will have. I remember there was this Swami, Pavananandaji, this was about nearly 30 years ago, in Deoghar. I remember in the evening, he was a disciple of Swami Shivananda, and he was an Irishman. In his old age, nearly 90 years at that time. In the evening, after the arati was over, he would go to his room. I would, accompany him, hold his hand and slowly take him there. Before he would leave the temple, he would turn around and bow down to Sri Ramakrishna. I still remember the first time I saw him do it. I was walking towards him. He was going down, but before he left the temple, he turned around, facing me, looking over my shoulder at the pictures, at the images on the altar. I tell you, every hair on my body rose. Literally, it's as if he was seeing this divine presence. I whipped my head around to see what he was looking at. He was just looking at the pictures, but I'm sure he was not seeing what I was seeing. I was seeing the pictures of Sri Ramakrishna, but he was seeing a living presence. Now, what I'm saying is, just the expression on his face. How is it that 30 years later, it is most vivid? I close my eyes, instantly it is there. It is a reflection indirectly. Here is a person, I believe, seeing God, and I'm seeing the expression on his face. It's unforgettable. In this life, if nothing happens, I've seen those things. I know another monk like that, who was a disciple of Swami Shivananda, Nirmuktananda, who lived for more than 100 years. I used to talk to him, Upen Maharaj. Another monk, a senior monk, he saw me talking with this old Upen Maharaj, Nirmuktananji, and he said, and this other senior monk who told me was is a very accomplished man. A lot of things he has done in his life. He said, for all I have done in my life, he said, I had considered myself fortunate to roll on the dust on which this old monk has walked. That's my stature compared to him. And I understand his feeling. So this is the feeling you get when you come near a person, let alone avatar, such persons who probably are highly spiritually advanced. I don't know who's enlightened or not. This is just to illustrate Sri Ramakrishna saying that Ishwara Uddipana, you get the feeling of the presence of God in the present when you are with such people. That's a good indicator. Again, all indirect indicators.
Wow, I'm so curious about spending time around enlightened beings. And I'm also curious about Dhyana Lingam, what it feels like to spend some time around Dhyana Lingam. I wonder what people really feel like goosebumps and stuff. I don't think I've ever met an enlightened being in my real life in this lifetime. I think there's a lot in India though, compared to all the other countries. I really wish to go to India, and maybe I might come across some enlightened beings. But I guess not everyone can recognize, I guess, the feeling you get when you're around enlightened beings, unless you're like sensitive and receptive to energies. And I don't think I'm very sensitive to energies though. I should meditate more. So it's like enlightened beings never get angry because they're peaceful and content. I wonder what enlightened beings, like how they see this life. Like they can see spirits, energy forms, right? Anyways, this was very interesting. And thank you guys for watching this with me, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.